Good morning and welcome to Live at the Legislature. For the House Majority portion of the show this week, we have Representative Ryan Yamane. He represents District 37, which covers Mililani, Waipio Gentry, and Waikele. He is also the chair of the House Health, Human Services, and Homelessness Committee. Representative, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, James.
Well, I'd like to start out with a little bit about how we're ending the session now. We just are in the final weeks and we're going to begin conference committee soon. Could you talk about some of the important health, human services, and homeless bills under consideration for passing?
Okay, well, thank you. And again, thank you to Olelo and all those helping to put this on. In the start of this session, we were facing a $1.4 to a $1.8 billion shortfall. So the Committee of Health, Human Services, and Homelessness focused on looking at what our core missions were for state government. And then we determined that the best way to serve the people was to look at some efficiency issues, consolidate, and make the services more direct for the people of the state of Hawaii. So two of the major bills currently that are in conference, one pertains to the transfer of the emergency medical services, our EMS ambulance system, to the city and county of Honolulu. We've been working directly with Mayor Vangiardi's office and EMS department of the same county of Honolulu to start this transition to the city. The other major transition is off of SB 628, which is transferring our Leahi and Maluhia Hospital, those primarily focus on long-term care, to the Department of Health to be able to do a more seamless and efficiency set of programs to address chronic homelessness and substance abuse issues.
Yeah, those are important bills, that's for sure. Another bill you introduced was, well, a resolution, HR 57, as it's an ongoing concern in Hawaii about preventing suicide. And this resolution would create Suicide Prevention Month. How is this going to help the situation?
Well, one of the things that we want people to be aware in our community is suicide and mental health issues are increasing throughout our state. So we wanted to bring light to this ongoing problem and also looking at bringing in the community on ways to addressing that. So this was a first step to acknowledging the importance, giving the whole month as awareness to help people out there in our community be aware of what mental health issues are and also the resources available to them out there. So this was a good first step to try to bring greater awareness on the issue.
And I think there's even heightened concerns with the pandemic. A lot of people can feel alone or depressed, and it's a good time to take a look at helping to prevent suicide.
Yes, and then the House is committed moving forward that looking at this into the coming year as we get additional resources from the federal government as well as over our finances, that we want to make sure that resources to everyone. That means, the programs that Department of Health offers, we want to make sure that that's available and easy use for students from, in the schools all the way to our kupuna.
Yeah, okay. Well, when we started the session, one of the major goals was to provide public health and safety for our residents during the pandemic. How is the House helping to fulfill that goal? What are we doing?
So, the Speaker put in the COVID committee, to get up-to-date information from all the various stakeholders. And as we move forward, the Speaker developed the pandemic committee to address specifically issues related to COVID. And what my role as the health chair is to actually support the ongoing services. So we've been working directly with Department of Health to making sure that vaccines are being distributed to the community. We helped put together a point of distribution in Mililani. We've also designated one and working on establishing one specifically for farmers in the community, and that will have interpreters, and the ongoing release of vaccines to health centers throughout our state that have the capability of reaching the at most risk communities.
I imagine you're keeping a close eye on all those things too, like the vaccines and the things going on in the state.
Yeah, I was actually had the privilege of volunteering, helping with as a Department of Health volunteer to help all of our first responders get their vaccine shots, and that it was very rewarding to see the amount of first responders and law enforcement and others that came out to get their shots to support the goal of getting herd immunity within our community.
Now, you didn't actually put the needle in the arms, did you?
No, I assisted with what we call flow, which is moving people forward, helping with education, and then addressing anybody's concerns. If they have anxiety or what the process was. And so yeah, we were able to service hundreds of our first responders.
Great, good work. What about bills in your district? Is anything being passed that's going to help and benefit the people in Mililani in the area?
Yeah, so actually, those bills I mentioned regarding the transfer of Leahi Malahia Hospital to the Department of Health, as well as the transferring of Honolulu EMS system from Department of Health to the city. All those are designed to help every community. And so my communities will be, part of the system. We have an ambulance site right in YPO Gentry, and they'll actually be able to now, they're city employees, but they'll be actually be part of the first responder team, just like our police and firefighters. And the goal would be for them to be on equal footing of other responders. And with the hospital systems moving to the Department of Health, we feel then that those issues like communities like Mililani and others that are facing chronic homeless, encampments growing, that we will have a system which includes the EMS and a diversion program to get them the long-term need care that they need.
I see. Well, we just have under a minute left here, but I wanted to ask you, are you optimistic now with the number of vaccines coming in that we're going to be able to soon end this pandemic, at least in Hawaii, control it and kind of get back to normal?
Well, this is a long-term battle that we will be addressing, right, in our state and in our country. But it is reassuring that more vaccines will be available. We're hoping to keep on track, as President Biden has, stated that the goal is to get everybody who wants vaccinated done by summer. As you know, next week we'll be bringing it down on Oahu to anybody 16 years and older who wants it. And the more people that we get it, and the closer we get it to that 70%, the better for all of us.
That sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us today on Live at the Legislature. And we'll see you all again next week. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody.
Aloha.
Hello.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Alelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.